Hello. I want to wish all of you in the United States, subscribers and any who might have just casually looked in on this channel, happy Thanksgiving. I can say with some confidence that a majority of the people who are celebrating Thanksgiving are also a similar bunch of people to the ones who would be celebrating the outcome of a recent court case, while many of the ones who are not celebrating Thanksgiving would probably be the ones recently disappointed, and, well, for the reasons I have just outlined. So, as we know, given a recent event which is developing as I'm making this video and is most likely to be related to what I can't really talk about too much, we aren't out of the woods yet. It looks like there are going to be quite a few attempts to revive some sort of retribution, both personally and governmentally. Because if there's one thing as certain as the yearly arrival of the last week in November, it's the habit of a certain section of the population to bear a grudge. And this applies here in the UK as much as it does in the USA. You may not believe it, folks, but although the United Kingdom has been out of the EU for 2 years now, and it's been on the cards for much longer, there are still people on my local Facebook news groups fantasizing about a return. It reminds me somewhat of Queen Mary I, the oldest daughter of King Henry VIII, who ascended to the throne, give or take a bit of manoeuvring, after the death of her half-brother, King Henry's son, Edward VI. Edward had been a very enthusiastic Protestant. Mary was a very devout Catholic. What does this have to do with Thanksgiving, you may ask, and I shall tell you. We're approaching the end of November, and as it just so happens, the end of this month not only marks the holiday of Thanksgiving for you guys in the USA, but it also marks a rather less commemorated anniversary. Because shortly after she became Queen, Mary returned England and Wales to the Mother Church. I think she was possibly even parts of Ireland as well were in her kingdom. Anyway, whatever. When on the 30th of November, 1554, that is St Andrew's Day, she participated in a public ceremony of reconciliation. Actually, the English had welcomed her with joy and celebration when she acceded. But this public humiliation of an English monarch and her entire parliament making obeisance, in fact, taking the knee, to the papal legate, Cardinal Pole, that was too much. And when she died 4 years later, the country celebrated well, they celebrated almost as much as they had done on her accession. And that's why I'm talking about this. Because we have here in the UK groups of people who are collectively known to those who are unsympathetic to them as Remoaners. They can't accept our EU independence and would very much like to have the same sort of reconciliation with Europe as Queen Mary had with Catholicism. Obviously, our Remoaners and your historical revisionists are the sorts of people who don't learn from history, who probably don't even know history, or who think they know history and have built up their own truth about history. Now, back to Thanksgiving. It might now be a bit of a problematic holiday. As I said, there has been some disturbance already, and I should think there will be a little more in the wake of a certain legal verdict. So I do wish you all well. and I do wish that you all have a mostly peaceful celebration of your own history. Just a bit of advice though. We've all got that one in the family, you know, the one who you might say spiritually comes from California. When he or she starts to expound, just start asking everyone and anyone in a very loud voice if they would like a little more pumpkin pie. And do what we Brits do in similar circumstances. Start talking about the weather. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.